Hey guys, it's Neil here again for another online education vlog. First of all, shout out sa mga dedicated and hardworking online students na gaya ko. At kung ikaw ay bago sa aking channel, huwag kalimutan na mag-like, mag-comment, and please subscribe. So ang vlog na to ay continuation ng aking previous vlog regarding my online study experience with AMA-OED na kung saan i-differentiate ko yung mga online study experience ko with different institutions, particularly yung difference ng online education sa Philippines and abroad. Kaya naman, let's start. So ano ang pagkakaiba ng online school sa Pilipinas at Europe? So sa online school experience, meron akong currently 4 institutions na napag-aaralan ngayon. So una is meron akong experience with AMA-OED which is based in Philippines. Pangalawa, meron akong experience of studying 2 institutions in UK which is through distance learning din, which is iLearn Engineering and London School of International Business. And pang-apat is currently, nag-aaral ako ng Masters in Engineering Management via distance learning through UniAthena Global platform, pero accredited siya ng GMU Italy. So, yun yung mga online school currently kung saan ako nagtitake ng mga courses. Sa enrollment, actually, ang enrollment ng online education is same yung initial. Sa initial kasi, mag-send ka lang ng application doon sa portal nila and i-upload mo lahat ng documents na kailangan nila na initial for review. Once na na-evaluate na at na-approve na, hihingi sila ng further na requirements sa'yo in which na sa AMA-OED, kailangan mo mag-submit ng actual copies of your TOR, release papers, or honorable dismissal from previous school. While doon naman sa iLearn Engineering, sa LSIB, sa GMU Italy, hihingan kanila ng copies only to send via email, including yung English test level na required ng school with a bandwidth score of 5.5. So kapag wala yun, hindi ka i-accept ng university. Ang kagandahan lang nun, pwede siyang maging exemption kung meron ka ng bachelor's degree on your previous school with a certificate of medium of instruction in English. So yun yung way para magkaroon ka ng exemption not to take the English level. Dahil yung English level test guys ay medyo may kamahalan at medyo may kahirapan yun ang sabi nila. Pero hindi pa ako nagtatry kasi niyan. So we'll see later kung kaya kong itry. And sa enrollment process din at saka term of enrollment, sa AMA-OED naman, it is divided from a whole course. So let's say my course is BA-HRM. It's 58 subjects divided to 8 subjects. The maximum per semester is 24 units. So, yun yung magiging enrollment nun. So, ang experience ko with AMA-OED, I enrolled always with 7 or 8 subjects para matapos ko. And last, it was 7 subjects yung last na enroll ko. An enrollment per semester cost and cost per subject, and also yung sa AMA-OED kasi is term nila is 98 days per semester. So, it's roughly 3 months and 1 week. So, sa iLearn Engineering sa LSIB, hindi siya enrolled divided by subjects to per semester. No, enrolled as a whole siya guys. So, nagbayad ako ng registration fee along with my first initial payment sa course. So, kasama yun doon, ang binayaran ko. And kung babayaran ko yung full amount ng course ang babayaran ko, hindi siya per subject na full amount. So, yun yung pinagkaiba. And plus, sa GMU Italy kasi, yun yung pwede kang mag-enroll ng per subject and per course. So, yung course kasi, as a whole, as Masters in Engineering, is different from per subject. So, ang price kasi ng Master sa current cost niya is $350 per subject. So, yun yung enrolled as a whole course. Pero kung kinuha ko yan per subject enrollment, ang price niyan will be $500 per course subject. So, ganun siya kamahal guys, pag binaliktad mo yung enrollment. Kaya naman, ang ginawa ko is enrolled as a whole course subject na lang para medyo mas mababa siya. So dito sa online class or learning mode, so lahat ng online learning institutions ay pare-pareho lang yan. So meron silang portal, merong recorded classes, merong live classes, merong online module, merong references sa readings. So pareho lang lahat ng materials actually na binibigyan. While sa mentors, magkakaiba ang mga yan. Yung first three kasi, yung AMA-OED, I Learn Engineering at saka LSIB, kailangan mo i-message yung mentor. For example, minessage mo siya ngayon, pero maghihintay ka pa ng response. Pero sa GMU Italy is iba. So meron akong dalawang advisor. One is the student advisor and one is the personal tutor or learning facilitator. So yung dalawang yan, pwede ko siyang i-message at any time. So 24/7 siyang available for my inquiries except holidays. So sa personal tutor ko din, meron akong 2 session per course subject. One is opening and one is closing. So doon sa opening, ina-explain niya kung anong gagawin ko doon sa subject, ano ang magiging research ko, anong gagawin ko doon sa project, paano ko siya i-format. So i-explain niya lahat yan. Yung second session will be the closing session. Ano ang feedback nung naging research ko. Sometimes guys, nagiging 3 or 4 yan siya, depending dun sa capacity to learn ng isang online learner. So dito naman sa assessment mode, so malaki ang pinagkaiba nila dahil una, sa AMA-OED, so of course, yung mga nag-aaral ngayon sa AMA-OED, alam nila to. So nagsisimula ka doon sa quizzes, so short quiz, long quiz, assignments, then before ka mag-take ng final exam, kailangan mo mag-submit ng course project. So yun ang style ng AMA-OED. Well, sa I Learn Engineering, based on experience, it is a purely research-based with modeling. So yung modeling kasi, hindi mo rin siya pwedeng dayain dahil habang naggagawa ka ng model, for example, kung paano gumagana ang gearbox ng isang car, yun ang gagawin mong miniature, kailangan mo i-video yung sarili mo, gaya nitong vlog na binivideo ko ang sarili ko, so hindi ko pwedeng dayain kung ano yung sinasabi ko. Sa LSIB naman, it's a pure research-based din, kaya lang ang plagiarism benchmark niya is 8% and you need to design your own research project. So, dito ilalagay ko sa video yung kung gaano siya katagal na na-approve. Meron ako ilalagay dito yung sa process ng approval. So, makikita niyo dito sa screen yung delay ng approval at gaano siya katagal bago in-approve at ilang beses siyang na-reject. While sa GMU Italy naman, it's a pure research-based with 40% plagiarism benchmark na may mga restricted web sources. Kaya lang dito kasi is more on research talaga, mga assignments dito research, more on research. Kung dito sa LSIB and I Learn Engineering, research siya. Sa GMU Italy, research din siya pero more on a rigid practice talaga siya guys. Hindi basta-bastang research lang. Dito naman sa platform, sa AMA-OED, I Learn Engineering, and LSIB, they are using the same platform with the institution. Pero sa GMU Italy is different kasi ang GMU Italy ay the accrediting institution and meron siyang accredited platform. So pagkakaalam ko ngayon, merong 5 accredited platform yung GMU Italy, which is one is yung pinag-aaralan ko ngayon is Athena Global. Second is Eton Business School, Westford University, and Lincoln University. So, yun yung mga different institution na may accreditation for online learning platform. So, in terms of grading system, sa AMA-OED, ang pagkakaalam ko is based on my online study experience at hindi ko naman na-experience yung mga ibang grades dito. Merong A, B, C, D, and I sa pagkakaalam ko guys. So, yung ABC, yun yung mga passing score, which means 100% is the highest with 50% as the minimum passing grade sa AMA-OED. While sa I Learn Engineering sa LSIB, hindi sila nagbibigay ng digital or numerical grades. So, ang binibigay lang is distinction as the highest, merit as the average, and pass as the lowest passing score. And wala silang something na meron kang i-receipt or i-submit. Hindi sila nagaganon. And sa GMU Italy naman, ang pinagkaiba niya dito sa dalawang to is that meron siya nitong sa AMA-OED style na grading system at meron din siya nung sa LSIB and I Learn Engineering. So, meron siyang sinasabing distinction, which is of course the highest, merit will be the average, and pass is the lowest passing score. At nakalagay dito na 100% is the highest, and 50% is the lowest passing score. Ang pinagkaiba lang nito ngayon, meron siyang sinasabi na receipt and retake. So doon sa receipt guys, kapag nag-fail ka doon sa main research mo, pwedeng sasabihin lang ng instructor mo, okay, ang naging grade mo is 44%. So kailangan mo lang ng receipt. So doon sa receipt, kailangan mong i-resubmit, i-revise yung research mo for review. Pero magbabayad ka ng resubmission fee. Yun ang receipt. While yung retake, which means ang benchmark ng score mo, it didn't pass through the receipt status. So doon ka sa retake, magbabayad ka ng full course. So ang full course kasi is a pro rata basis. So hindi kagaya nung monthly basis na binabayaran ko, ang full course cost $500 per subject course. So ganun siya ka mahal guys. So kaya naman wary ako talaga lagi na kailangan ko pumasa sa research para naman hindi tayo magastusan ng sobra kasi ganun siya kamahal talaga. So para sa akin, ano ang more challenging? So ang more challenging dito is that when I started my thesis in AMA-OED, kasi wala talaga akong experience sa paggagawa ng thesis guys. Honestly, yun talaga, mahina ako sa research. But still, I passed it and of course meron ako mga challenges kagaya ng mga groupmates ko ay hindi rin alam kung anong gagawin. And meron kaming time differences and mahirap mag-push ng tao para makomplete yung task. Lalo kapag nagtatrabaho ka or meron kang something na sideline na ginagawa or may side business ka, mahirap. And one more thing, yung sakit ng ulo dun sa mga groupmates na binibigay sa'yo na gusto mong matapos yung task nyo at sila is wacky-go-lucky lang guys. Meron mga ganun kasi talaga. Mahirap i-handle yung mga ganun ka-groupmates. So kaya naman, dito sa current course ko, mas nag-i-enjoy ako kasi mag-isa ko lang siyang ginagawa in research. Kaya mas marami rin akong natutunan. And another challenging days was the LSIB kasi ang plagiarism benchmark na nito is very low. Ang hirap niyang i-match doon sa research. Dahil yung sa research ko, nag-fail mostly sa plagiarism problem. Kasi ang research ko lagi nasa 15 to 20% talaga. So dito ako nahirapan. Yung pag-format ng research project. Kasi doon sa LSIB, hindi siya given yung format. Kailangan ikaw mismo mag-format. At yung pag-format mo, may katumbas na grade yun. And the differences between research-based and exam-based process. So nakikita niyo dito sa screen ngayon sa exam-based, mag-i-start ka of course sa study module. Then pupunta ka sa review. Then saka ka magte-take ng quizzes. So meron tayong short quiz, long quiz. Meron yung mga assignments which is sa AMA-OED is a quiz also. And magte-take ka ng or magsasubmit ka ng course project. So pag nag-pass ka sa lahat ng yan, makukuha mo yung grade. Yung grade mo kasi dito sa quizzes, short quiz, long quiz, and saka assignments and course project, nag-share yan sa the whole course subject. So kung nakapasa ka, so for of course, yung mga scores niyan is sharing grade yun sa overall score ng isang subject. Pero kung nag-fail ka, kailangan mong magbayad and mag-retake. And of course, hindi lang ito para sa pag-fail. Kung hindi ka contented doon sa scores mo, then you can pay and retake your exams, your quiz, short quiz, long quiz, or assignments para magkaroon ka ng higher grade or higher score. Well, dito naman sa number 2, yung sa research, mag-start ka ng study module. Then next is mag-take ka ng short quiz, normally na around 3 units lang siya. And then, kailangan mong mag-submit ng mini research. So, ang current na course subject ko is sustainability and business. Meron akong 3 mini research and 1 na main research. So, lahat ng ito is may kanya-kanyang mga minimum words limit. So, ang mini research has 500 to 700 words limit only, while ang main research has 5,000 maximum words limit. So, dadaan ito for submission, then i-review nila kung nag-pass ka, good. Pero kung nag-fail ka, doon tayo sa una, retake, kung saan magbabayad ka ng full amount ng course, which is $500. Then, i-retake mo again siya. Or, doon ka sa receipt, you pay only resubmission fee. Then, you submit another research project. So, among this process, which one do I like? So, ang mas gusto ko dito is research-based. Kasi although mahirap siya, and yes, difficult talaga ang research-based guys. Kasi ang ginagawa mo sa research-based is you are looking for real life issue. So yun yung ina-address mo doon. So kahit anong research based yan, real life issue talaga yan. Real life problem in business, in personals, in technical things. Lahat ng mga yan, yun ang research based. Kaya lang, ang pinagkaiba kasi nito sa exam based, ang exam based kasi is more on theoretical. So theoretical din ang research based, kaya lang, mas marami ka talagang matututunan na real life issues dito. So ano ang conclusion ko dito sa vlog na to? Una, ang exam based provides more flexibility or much easier and you can have more chances to pass the subjects. Yes, kasi ang exam based has so many components. So sa AMA-OED is maraming components ang grade. So merong quizzes, assignments, course project, final exam, long quiz. So lahat ng mga yon magbibigay sa iyo ng chance na makapasa ka sa course subject mo. While sa research based, the only way for you to pass is to pass the main research. So mahirap kasi talagang gawin ang isang research, guys. At actually compare sa educational experience ko with online learning, mas dito ako natuto sa research based. Ayun yun. Pero hindi ko naman sinasabi na hindi maganda ang exam based, pero ang kagandahan kasi sa exam based, kung ikaw ay nagtatrabaho at directly related yung inaaral mo doon sa trabaho mo, yun naman ang advantage niya. Kasi pwede mo siyang i-apply. Pwede mo siyang tignan kung gagana ba yung way or hindi. So at the same time na nag-aaral ka, pwede mo siyang gawa ng maliit na field study. Okay, feasible ba itong way na ito or gumagana ba talaga ito sa work ko? So pwede mo siya makita na ganun. So yun naman ang kagandahan ng exam based, which is sa research based, pwede mo rin siyang i-apply on the same. So ang difference lang kasi talaga nitong dalawa, ang exam based kasi is a pre-programmed activities by the institution, while ang research based, you are the one who is programming what you are submitting. So yun yung pagkakaiba, guys. So I hope you learned useful informations from this video. Thank you for watching and see you on my next vlog. Bye!